How long should you practice for? This is something a lot of guitar players run into. How long are you really supposed to be practicing for? Some guitar teachers will say, well, 5 minutes a day is better than nothing, and that's true. Please do at least 5 minutes a day. But some people, on the other end of the spectrum, you have the Steve Vai quote about practicing 10 hours a day. Now, I don't doubt that Steve Vai definitely did practice for 10 hours a day. But I'm going to go ahead and say 1 hour at a time, with breaks in between. Actually, to be very specific, 52 minutes. And I say that because this isn't some arbitrary number, by the way. There have actually been scientific studies done to gauge and measure the amount of time that a person's concentration is at its optimal level. Continued concentration without any interruptions, okay? And I don't have that handy right now, but if you take a look at the comments in the YouTube comments in the description, I will actually have a link. In fact, if I find more than one, I'm going to put several links in there so you can see for yourself. This is actually a concept that I have known for maybe 13, 14 years. I originally was introduced to the idea of stopping it at about an hour from Terry Cyrak's book, Shred is Not Dead. That is still a very influential book for me, but this was the first time that I think he just put it in such clear terms. Just basically, there's no need to practice for more than an hour. Your concentration drops off after that anyway, and the amount that we're going to be concentrating when we're playing is 100%. So the quality of your concentration drops after that. So there you have it, about 1 hour. And that's not to say don't play more than that. Knock your socks off. Play as long as you possibly want. You know, have fun. That is the most important thing. That's a big part of why we do it. Even if it's your career, you got to have fun with it. So I'm not saying don't play. Please do. Play as long as you possibly can and want to. But I'm going to say that there is a sweet spot. There is a certain period of time when you are going to make the most optimal improvements because your concentration is at its peak. And that is 52 minutes. And then 17 minutes break and then come back. So you can actually, pile up a whole bunch of nearly 1 hour sessions. So just for convenience, we can call that an hour. I'm going to go one further and tell you a way that you can cover more ground in that much time, okay? Because there is one thing that I see a lot of my students, at least at first when I meet with them, and just people online, they'll be practicing one thing, one skill, for the entire time, maybe even beyond an hour, maybe 3 hours working on one thing. There's just there's a certain gradual nature to practicing and improvement in general, and you're only going to get so much better today at a certain thing. So it's better if you just get only so much better at maybe 5 or 6 things today. Okay, so try not to squander an entire hour practice session on one skill. In fact, break it up into a bunch of 5, 10, 15, even 20-minute segments, depending on how involved it is. So if you're taking on some new theory thing, that might be a little bit more involved. If you're first tackling sweep picking for the first time, yeah, that might be a little bit more involved. It might be a little slower going. You might want to devote a full 20 minutes in this day. Tomorrow, do another 20 minutes. And as you get better and better, you really won't need to spend as much time on it. However, if you're doing something to kind of keep it in rotation, something you're already good at, you don't want to lose the progress you've already made in that area. So you can honestly even just do 3 to 5 minutes on that. In fact, in 10 minutes time, you could cover 3 different areas, a little bit more than 3 minutes each. So you can cover a lot of ground in 1 hour if you're very structured about the way you approach your time. Devote little mini chunks of your time to very clear goals and stay completely focused on that. And again, after an hour of doing that, your mind's going to be taxed. You're going to need a mental break. Okay, so it all comes back to just the science of your actual mind and the way that people concentrate. All right, and of course, take a break. Again, I'll be pasting the study and any other links relevant to it in the description for this. But I hope that helps a little bit. This is actually something that I have structured the Speed Training Bootcamp program that is now on the Shred Mentor Patreon page, kind of on this system, and a lot of the Shred Mentor practice schedules that my students in my classes and private lessons get are also actually based on this kind of a structure. There is no one way that you have to do it. It's a very flexible system, but it's a really powerful idea to structure your time so that you actually cover a bunch of goals and be very goal oriented. Specifically write down ahead of time a bullet list of the very specific things that you want to cover. If you know you're going to just do a bunch of 10-minute segments, write down 6 things. Spend 10 minutes each on each one of them, and try not to get distracted by anything else. Just, eyes on your work, keep going. Stay 100% focused, clear any distractions from your area, anything that might interrupt you externally, try to lock that out, try to set your boundaries, close yourself in your practice room, and just stay 100% focused on that. And you'll get a lot more done in a lot less time. I'm Jason at Treadmill to Rock Guitar Academy, and don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Rock on!